Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're actually just going to be doing another sit-down chatty video because these are actually just easy for me to do with little effort. So I'm actually I was going to do the end or New Year booktuber tag, whatever it was. And I figured actually maybe I should go back to the one I did for 2023 and actually see if I accomplished any of those goals, if I followed through with any of them. I am very much someone who I like the idea of setting New Year's resolutions and setting goals for myself and putting the video out there, but I'm also one of those people that forgets about it after a few weeks. That's one thing I want to change in 2024, but I never went back and ever rewatched my 2023 video to see if I was even working toward those goals or doing anything to work toward them. I never wrote them down. I don't have anything like that. I don't even remember what I answered half of these questions. And there is another New Year tag that's 20 some questions long. This is not that one. This is a shorter one. But I figured I will watch it with you guys and review it and see if I'm going to keep those same goals for this year of 2024 or if I'm going to change some things, and we'll see what happened throughout the year of 2023. Let's start this video.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I don't know why I say good morning. I mean, it's 7 o'clock right now.
Okay, you can stop talking.
I've seen the questions, but I haven't in general questions.
I'm going to skip through some of this because this is a long video.
Okay, so here's one thing I'm kind of excited about.
Oh.
But we'll see if it takes off.
So I think this question was what you're excited about for 2023. I think I accidentally skipped the question.
So my friend's husband wants to start a podcast.
Oh.
He's kind of in preliminary stages
Oh.
of it.
This didn't happen.
I'm not
So they ended up buying a new house and moving, and it just became a whole thing. We weren't able to completely get together and get it started. So his co-host that he had no longer was able to do it. So I was gonna step in to do it. He still wants to do it. We still want to do it, but there's just a lot going on right now that it's hard for us to kind of sit down and actually work through the technical stuff of it. So I mean, maybe one day that'll happen. I don't know when, but it's still something that he wants to do and I'm interested in doing. So we'll see what happens with that.
And then I'm also on my channel. I'm doing it once. I don't know when this is going out. But I have a friend who wanted to try see what it's like being on camera, being in a video. So we decided we're gonna pick a movie to watch.
Oh.
We're gonna do a live reaction to it as we're watching it. It's not book related. I do have another bookish idea. I'm gonna bulk. I tend to bulk film. I do at least.
So we did end up doing this. This is when we watched the Teen Wolf and reacted to it. That was the only one we ever did. Will we do another one? Maybe. We'll see. I just haven't really thought about it in a while. But so yeah, that was something that happened. I was gonna make it into a whole series thing, but I kind of just kind of gave up.
I'm hoping. I'm looking forward to assuming I don't fall into another slump like I always do. I did last year at the end of the year for a couple
I fell into a hard slump
for a while. But
in April.
So do you have a Goodreads challenge goal and why that number? Yes, I do Goodreads challenge every year. I love the Goodreads challenge. I've actually upped my number from previous years, except for last year I upped my number. I usually do in the 30s. Last year my goal was 50 books and I surpassed that. I read 67, which was super exciting. That's more than I've ever read in a year. So this year the goal is the same. It's 50 books.
It was the same. I also beat it. I think this 2023 was the most I've ever read in a year. I read 81 books. So yeah, so I did meet that goal. It's 50 again this year in 2024. I just keep setting the same goal because it's an achievable goal, I've realized. And I actually like hitting my goal. I'm not going to set it out of reach. I think 100 might possibly be pushing it. I don't think I can meet that consistently every year. 50 I'm able to meet consistently so far for the past 3 or 4 years. So I want to put it at an attainable goal. And then if I've been meeting 50, I might push it a little bit more and see. But yeah.
Next question, list at least 3
Let's see if I even read these.
Okay, so in the near future, actually, by the time this goes out, I might have read it already. I don't know, but I'm going to read the Anti-Heroes and Love Duet.
Okay. So this was, I think these I don't know if they were 5 stars or 4 stars. I think they were 5-star reads. I definitely enjoyed them. They weren't my favorite, but they were really good. I love Gianna Darling. Like, you don't even need to say that. But yeah, I actually did read this. Thank God.
Second, I'm gonna do books that are like on my shelf so I can look at them. Oh, Twisted Pride by Cora Riley, the third book of the.
I did read this too. I don't remember if it was 5 stars or not. It might have been 4. It might have been 4 or 4.5, because I remember it has a pregnancy trope in it, which I love, but there was weird time skips that I wasn't a fan of. So I don't think it was a 5-star, but it was very, very close.
Third one, I think The Wall of Winnipeg with Me. I think that's gonna be.
I didn't read that. I want to. It was on my 23 books I want to read in 2023, and it was on my book 24 books of 2024 video. So I need to read that this year, for sure. Like, yes, that needs to happen.
Probably gonna be so many more. I know I want to read like Elsie Silver's series. That was probably gonna be 5-star, but
I didn't read. What did I read? Oh, well, I did technically. So I did read a 5-star Elsie Silver. I read Out of the Gate, which is the novella to Gold Rush Ranch, and I give that 5 stars. So I'll call that a win too.
I think those 3. What genre, subgenre, or trope do you want to read?
More of.
All of them. I feel like I jump around a lot with tropes and genre. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. Oh, you know what genre? I want to read more like thriller, horror stuff because I keep buying them and I don't read them.
Did I read more? I don't think I read the whole Timothy Blake series, so that was 4 books. I did read The Twisted Dead, that was 5, and I read quite a few for October. I read No Exit by Taylor Adams. I think that was last year. I did read more because I read quite a few for Halloween. I'd say I read some more, not a lot more. Do I still want to keep that as a reading goal for this year? I'm comfortable with the amount of horror, like thriller horror books I read. I usually read them around like October. That's just when I am in the mood for them. I have a lot of Darcy Coates, so I'm gonna read some more of her. I do have a couple Jack Heath on Audible that I want to read. I want to read some other Riley Sager because I read Home Before Dark and I really liked it. So I want to try to pick up some more of their books. And Grady Hendrix is another one I want to like read this year. So yeah, there's some other ones I do want to get to. But I don't think I'm going to actively try to read. I'm just going to read what I am in the mood for.
Historical romance. I have been collecting.
I need to read more. I don't think I read. And did I? Yes, Man, I feel like so. It doesn't feel like it was the same year for some because I had such a big slump in the summer. But I did read. I didn't read enough. I want to read more than I did last year. So I read the first 3 books of Lorraine Heath's Scoundrels of St. James series. Absolutely loved it. That's such a good series. I need to finish it. And I think that was like most of the historicals I read, but I've been collecting them. Like there's some I really like. I really need to read Kerrigan Byrne, and she has like more darker stuff in her historicals. Like I need to, and I love my dark romance, and like that's would be the perfect thing for me to read. And yeah, and more of the Lorraine Heath stuff. Absolutely, I definitely need to read more historical romance this year because I didn't read. I read like 3 or 4 last year, and it was like at the beginning of the year. I don't think I read any at the end of the year.
And trope. I want to read more of trope. Like every trope in my head is gone except for accidental pregnancy, secret baby, and I've been reading quite a bit of those.
Yeah.
You know what? I want to read more age gap. I like the age gap.
Did I read more age gap? I don't know if I read more. Like every book I read last year just completely left my mind. I will say I wasn't actively trying to do that. I don't think it's the same thing. I don't think I'm going to end up like, I don't think I don't actively search for tropes. I don't really get into the, well, I say this, but I don't really get into the mood for certain tropes. Like, I just kind of read when I feel like reading. But I do need to read more. Like this 2023 was everyone's like cowboy era, and I was not on that train. I'm one of the people that, like, when something's popular, I'm reading the thing that was popular previously. Like, small town romance stuff is still pretty popular, but, like, I'm just starting to get really into reading it. And, like, cowboys were popular last year, and, like, I'll finally getting into reading it this year in 2024. And, like, that might be out now. Like, I don't know. Hockey romance was popular. I'm not really into that. Like, I'm more of a, if I'm going to read a sports romance, I would rather read, like, football. But, like, yeah, like, stuff is just, I don't really follow trends necessarily. Like, if it's popular, I'm one of the people that's, like, kind of, like, put off by a little bit. I don't know why. But, like, yeah, the cowboy thing, who knows if that's still even going to be, like, in. But I'm now starting to, like, get into reading small town cowboy stuff.
Name three, oh no, what trope do you think will be most popular in 2023? Do I think? Cowboy romance.
Yeah.
I wish, I know this isn't going to happen because so many people hate this trope, but I wish, like, secret pregnancy,
yeah.
pregnancy would be a trope that people...
It's never popular.
But, I mean,
people just, like,
if it's done right,
people seriously, like, hate that trope. Like, they will not pick up a book if it has that trope in it, which blows my mind. Because, like, I'm not a fan of, like Friends Still Have Second Chance, or, like, Marriage in Trouble. Like, they're not my favorite, but I won't not pick a book up because it's in there, and I won't necessarily rate it less because that's the trope that's in there. It all depends on how it's used and how it's executed.
and, like, there are times when I don't like it.
Yeah, all about execution.
For the year.
3 bookish goals for the year.
Okay.
These should be interesting.
So my first one would be to better keep up with my reviews. I was really, really good last year about writing reviews for everything I read.
This was one thing I was horrible at last year. I've been better. I've read 5 books so far this year, and I've written reviews for 4 out of the 5. Mostly because I wasn't sure how to review the other one. It was like a novella. But yeah, this was something I was aware of, like, all year. And, well, I was more conscious of it toward the end of the year because I've been trying to sign up for ARCs and ALCs and stuff. But, like, if you read the author before, they want you to show them reviews that you've written. And I'm like, I just star rate and move on. So I've been doing, so far, knock on wood, I have been doing so much better at doing my reviews, and I've been reviewing on Goodreads. I've been reviewing on Amazon, if I remember, and Audible, if I listen to it on Audible. The only thing that sucks is I listen primarily to my audiobooks on Hoopla, because I think Audible, unless they're having, like, a sale or, like, a deal with their credits, I think Audible is ridiculously expensive. But when I do listen to on Audible, I rate on Audible. But when I listen to my audiobooks on Hoopla, you can't rate them on Audible unless you listen on Audible, which I think is dumb. But that's just how it is. So, like, I have so many ratings on Hoopla, and, like, you can't, like, rate. You just star rate and move on Hoopla. So, like, yeah. So, like, I try to like, the books that I listen to on Hoopla, I will obviously rate on Goodreads, and then I'll try to remember to go into Amazon and rate them there as well. And I'll just mention that I listen to this on audio, blah, 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 whatever. So I am, 2024 so far, I've been better at it. We'll see if I keep the trend up. I want to.
So my other bookish goal is for the channel, and I want to start actually doing recommendation videos. Now, I don't read a whole lot of books to give you a recommendation.
For some reason, I am so intimidated by this. I did not do this in 2023. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I need to actually do recommendation videos, but, like, I am so intimidated by giving you guys recommendations. Like, I'll talk about videos and vlogs and videos, whatever, and, like, you can pick them up based on that. But, like, specific recs, I am terrible about remembering like what tropes are in certain books. I have in a lot of my Goodreads reviews, I will put like triggers and tropes. But like the fact that I would have to go back and remember, like I need to figure out a different way of categorizing. Like when I read a book and there's a trope in it, like I need to, like I mentioned, in Avery has this whole system where like she has a Word document and like writes for each trope and has the book listed, and then when she gets like 10 or so, like she'll do a video. Like I need to do something more organized like that in order to do recommendation videos, because I cannot for the life of me remember tropes for things. And and sometimes I can't even remember, like when I can go back to my Goodreads and be like, oh yeah, I liked this book that has this trope in it, but like I wouldn't be able to necessarily remember like minute details about the book to share. I don't know. It's for some reason it seems like such a daunting thing for me to do. So like 2024 maybe we'll hopefully see a recommendation video or two.
Bookish goal. I'm gonna say I think I failed this one already, but I would say to kind of rein in my what do you call it? Spontaneous buying of books.
I don't know why I say this. I realized a lot of booktubers or a lot of like readers say this, that I need to buy less books. I need to spend less money on books. Utilize the library, utilize Hoopla, utilize whatever, but like it never works. It never works out. And I'm pretty sure I've got over 200 books last year that I bought. Just because I went to Illinois alone, I got 50 books. In December alone, I got 40 books. So that's 90 books right there in 2 months. And I think I did a video when I wrapped up the whole summer where I did a haul for all the books I got over the summer, and that was 100 books. So I can guarantee I got more than 200 books last year. I unhauled a lot as well, but yeah, I keep saying, it's January, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend, not spend as much money on books this year. I'm going to try to save. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I realized that if I listen to the book on audio and don't physically have it, unless it's like amazing, like I need to have it, I kind of like no longer have any desire to get the physical book if I've listened to it on audio already. But like there are certain books where I want the physical copy because I want to be able to read it physically and like annotate it. Like Devil's Night, I read that twice on audio, but I have 2 copies of that whole series. Like there are certain books like that where like I need to own it.
But I want to start reading, because I do have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, so if they're available,
Yeah.
on Kindle Unlimited, I want to read it on there first before I go.
There's another thing, like Kindle Unlimited, I use it. I still pay for it. I did Stuff Your Kindle Day, which isn't Kindle Unlimited, but I realized that like I read a lot slower on my Kindle because I don't know, I just get distracted a lot easier because it's on your phone or whatever. Like I don't have a Kindle tablet. I have a Fire tablet. So I still get the notifications and stuff on it. There's still like internet access on it. So I get distracted a lot easier. Audio and physical books seem to be the way to go. I listen to things a lot easier on audio. But a physical book is still my preferred method.
Next question is, name 3 personal goals for the year. 3 personal goals. Oh God. The first one is to finish the book that I started writing. Or a book I started, because I started
That
writing,
didn't happen.
I mentioned that if you guys have been watching any of my videos toward like the last end of the summer.
I still want to do this. I think about it a lot. I also have reworked not necessarily the plot, but like the execution of said plot. I've reworked it in my head. It was originally a dark romance, but I feel like I'm a little bit over my head writing it as dark romance, so I changed it a little bit. It's like dark romance adjacent, or like dark romance light, I would say. Like there's elements of dark in it, like if there's mafia in it, but it's not crazy dark. I feel like I need to ease my way into that, but my thing with that is like I need to rewrite a lot of it. So I kind of like have backed off of it. I still think about it a lot though. Just the idea of going back and rewriting a lot of what I've already written is daunting, because when I reread what I've written, it's still really good in my opinion. The story is still really good. I don't know how to go forward from where I ended to make it all flow. But I've gotten ideas on how to like just kind of change the course of things in a different direction. But again, that would require me a major rewrite. So I don't know. I don't want to say a goal for me is to finish the whole thing this year, but to definitely work on it, at least to get back into writing it. And yeah, to like actively get back into writing it. And I also think that, so because of how that book begins, I do need to write a prequel novella for it. So maybe that will come first. We'll see, because novellas are a little bit shorter to write, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's definitely still up in the air. It's still something, a goal of mine, like in general, that I want to do.
Is more of a financial aspect, and that's to save. I have been trying to have a really nice like nest egg, because I do want to move out of this house, preferably out of state.
So this is still a goal. I have been saving. I opened a separate like savings account and have part of my paycheck like go into a savings account. So I have been doing this. I didn't have like a specific like amount that I wanted to save, but I have been saving. We're still planning on eventually moving. We did visit the area that I want to move to. I say we because me and Mike were gonna move together. At least that's the plan. But we're constantly looking at least he is mostly looking at houses. There are some other, like with my house, there is some things that need to be fixed before it's even ready to be sold. Like I need the roof to get completely replaced, which is another huge financial issue. Like there's some just structural stuff that needs to be fixed, and just things that it needs to be fixed. It's an old house. I think I mentioned before, it's 120 years old. It was built in 1905. There's a lot of issues with it, but my thing is like I want to fix what I can fix and then sell it before it becomes too much of a problem and to the point where I can't afford to keep it anyway and then get nothing for it. So that's more of personal like stuff that you guys probably don't care about. But yeah, so this is still a goal, and I was working toward it throughout the year.
Okay, third personal goal is to be less introverted. I guess you could say, like, you can't really be less introverted, but to like take myself out more. Like yesterday, for example, I was invited to all my work friends. They who have retired. They started like a day drinkers club.
Okay.
Every month they pick a day.
So I did do this all year. Every month they pick a dive bar to go to in the area, and we meet up and just have drinks, eat, and just catch up and whatever. I did do this all year long. I missed like I think 1 month because I had a writer's workshop to go to that same day. But like, yes, I did go out and do this. It's a lot of fun. We're still continuing to do this. And did I go out more like in general? Yes and no. I mean, we did take a vacation to Alabama. We drove out to Illinois. We went to a Nickelback concert, like, and a comedy show. So yes, but I will say majority of that is because of Michael, because he pretty much like paid and planned for everything, and he's just like, oh, we're going here, and I'm like, okay, like, let's go. It wasn't me like actively putting myself out there, and like I don't know why I made this a goal. I guess I don't know, because I spent probably most of 2022 just like sitting in the house. But in fairness, that was the year my mom passed, so it was a year. So I feel like I was justified in that. But I'm an introvert and I like staying at home, and you save money at home unless you're like me buying books because you're sitting at home reading, looking at books, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that's not really,
Together, go to like a different dive bar around the area, and just
um,
like hang out and chit chat
I'm
and
not going to keep that as a
place
goal
out,
for
arrange
this
a
year
dinner
because
or
I'm just,
something. Just kind of a fun social
yeah.
meeting. Last final
Oh, here
question:
we go.
what do you want to leave behind in 2022?
Hmm.
Well, 2022, I wanted to leave behind 2021 because 2021 was just a disaster of a year. 2022, I just want to leave 2022 behind as well, because at the beginning of that year, actually it was, as the day I'm filming this on January 22nd. My mother passed away on January 20th of 2022.
So it is currently January 10th that I'm filming this. This will be, and on the 20th will be the 2nd year anniversary of her passing, and it's just like, it blows my mind that much time has passed already. Like, I can't believe that much time has passed already. Because yeah, 2021 was the last 2 years. 2023 was the first year that I was starting to like feel normal, like starting to like settle into my new normal. Especially in like whenever Michael moved in like May, because I had lived the year and a half previous by myself for the first time ever, in this house that I lived with my mother for 30 years, and like it was just all very like, I don't know, it was the whole shift in like my life and figuring out what I wanted to do with myself now. Like, now that, okay, the house is mine, I own it, I have to, and it's a double house, so like not only am I a homeowner, I'm also a landlord, because there's people that live on the other side that we've rented out for years. And like, it was just figuring out what the hell I wanted to do now. So I still feel like I'm doing that. Like, it's been 2 years and I'm gonna be 33 this year, and I still feel like I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I have goals, and it's just a matter of, will they be met? It's a matter, not will they be met, it's a matter of when things will just happen and fall into place. And like, I understand, like, you can't really necessarily wait for things to fall into place, but I'm one of those people that like, I need to wait for all of the things to line up as they're supposed to line up before I jump on them. And you can't necessarily, doesn't always work out that way. So I think, I don't know if it's a goal for this year specifically, but it's just a goal for me in general for like going forward, is to just like, just do it. Because you can't, if I wait for things to like be perfect, like, nothing's ever gonna get done. I'm never gonna end up moving out of this house because it's just not gonna happen. And I think it helps a lot that Michael's in it with me, like, as of right now, like, he's in it with me, and like, we're gonna do this, you know. So I just need to get in that mindset of, this is gonna happen, we're gonna do this. It may not be this year, it might be next year or the year after, but it's gonna happen, you know, relatively in a relatively shorter time frame, you know, not, 10 years from now. So yeah, that's kind of my like revamped goal for 2024, and like just in the future. So I think for the most part, I would say I kind of worked through those goals, toward those goals. Didn't really like, there are things that like I would think I would keep up with just like in general, like nothing that was very specific and like to the year. But yeah, for the most part, I'm gonna keep probably the same goals, except for like the being more extroverted thing. That was weird. But yeah, so that was my review of my goals for 2023. I don't even know. I had like a whole plan for this, and I completely just forgot what the hell how I was gonna do this. But yeah, so 2024, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to manifest any kind of like big goals. I do, like I said, I want to keep up on writing my reviews. I've been doing good so far. I want to read I have on my list of 24 books that I want to read this year, so I actually do want to read those this year. I have a video coming out, I don't know if it was before or after this, that's kind of come out, of authors that I want to try this year. And just, yeah, the goals are pretty much the same every year. You know, read more of my physical TBR, buy less books, you know, like, it's one of those. So we'll see how this year pans out. But yeah, that's going to be it for me. Let me know down in the comments what your big bookish goals and even personal goals, if you have any, are for 2024. And I'll see you in my next one. Bye.